I've been searching high and low to try and figure out how to build an elevator bed for my enclosed cargo trailer. I've gone through quite a few things on the internet. I haven't really found anything that is lightweight and easy to use. So what I've done is I've come up with this little contraption here, and what it is it's basically it's a loading ramp, all aluminum loading ramp. Up here in Canada we can get them at Princess Auto, and the brand is Erickson, and it's classified as a 54-inch by 80-inch long loading ramp, and they call it a tri-fold model. I've gone ahead and I've cut about 11 inches off of it, and the reason I did that is the inside width of my enclosed cargo trailer is only 80 inches, and a double bed or standard bed is about 54 inches by 75 inches. So what I also have here is I have these are like cargo securement load bars, and it's E-Trax product, and it's made by Erickson. And these here, they say that they go from 92 inches to 103 inches using this right here. So it's a sliding lock system. I've gone ahead and actually cut these down from the standard length, and I've cut them to 75 inches. And the reason I did that is to allow this to go the full width of my enclosed trailer, and I've also given myself a couple inches gap to allow for uneven walls and to allow it to actually slip into place. And what I'm going to do is I also got some vertical E-Trax. So this is just a 4-foot length of vertical E-Trax. You can get this pretty much anywhere. So I'm going to mount 4 of these, 2 on one side and 2 on the other side of my wall. So it will allow me to adjust my bed up and down as required. So I'd like to put it up onto the ceiling when not in use, and have the ability to crank it down when it is in use. I'm also going to have a pipe, a 1-inch pipe that I'm going to put through the center of this with a couple bearings I'm going to mount on the inside, and that'll allow me to crank that bed up. I'm going to use some 2-inch strapping or webbing to lift that up. I also have, because I don't have an aluminum welder, I've gone ahead and just cut some angle brackets here and just pre-drilled 4 holes on each side. So I got to attach all of this, make sure it's all squared up. And also this here, the inside width of this is about 53¼ inches. These tubes are about 2.5 inches tall by just over, probably about 3¼ inches tall. It's quite solid. With this ramp, I'm just going to screw it to these beams, and it's going to be very, very solid. So now we have all of our aluminum framing cut. Now we're ready to install the elevator bed lift mechanism. So what I've gone ahead and done is tried to figure out what I was going to use, and then I noticed in my garage we have this rod that is right on the top of every overhead door. It's a 1-inch rod with some bearings right along the top. So this is what I'm going to use to make the elevator bed right up there. So basically, local hardware store, or your local garage door opener guy would have one of these rods. Basically has to go the full width of your bed. So for mine, it's going to be probably about 58 inches wide. And what we're going to have to do, so this is basically this is the foot of the bed. This is going to be the head of the bed over here. And these are the sides. So I've gone ahead and I've marked the very middle of the bed. And now we got to drill actually a 1-inch hole and a 2-inch hole. So I'll just go over here and show you. I've done it on a scrap piece of metal just to give you an idea of what that looks like right here. So this is basically the same pipe, and I've used it to actually do all of my quote-unquote engineering. So basically we're going to drill a 1-inch hole on one side, very middle of the bed, and then on the other side we're going to drill a 2-inch hole. So that 2-inch hole is going to accept the bearing that I actually knocked out, and this will allow the rod or that pipe to go into this, and you'll be able to use this to crank up your bed just like this. It's actually a perfect fit, so it allows it to move nice and free, and that's where you'd wrap your webbing of your elevator bed lift. So when you get those overhead door bearings, this is what they look like. They come in a pack of 2, you break them apart, and that's what one of them looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take that bearing out of there. You may be able to source these bearings someplace else. But it just so happened that I had an overhead door guy next door to me, and I saw what was in the back of his truck, so I decided, well, I think that's something that's going to work. I give her a shot. So now I'll just show you what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pound that bearing out. So I just use a socket and support it on each side. And just like that, you've knocked that bearing out. So now this is ready to go. Good to go. Then we want to change out the 2-inch bed. For a 1-inch bed. In there, give her a tighten. That's good to go. Drill the pilot hole. So I've already drilled the pilot holes on the other rail, so you got to do the same thing to each side. The other thing you got to remember is make sure you mark which way is up and which way is the inside, so you get the orientation correct. And I've just marked which side is the 1-inch hole, which is the inside edge, and then which one's going to need the 2-inch hole. So I'll just go ahead and we'll drill the other 1-inch hole on the opposite side, and basically the same thing over again. Again, I said I got the pilot hole drilled already, and it's very important that these 2 holes do align. Otherwise, your crank rod will be misaligned. So we'll just go ahead and drill it. go nice and slow, let the blade cut, and don't force it. There you go, there's the 1-inch hole. Flip it around, and as you can see, I got it marked inside and I got it marked bottom on this side. So we'll just change out the bit and we'll do our 2-inch hole as well.
I do it.
Good.
Is it going
There's
good?
the boss.
Huh?
Just making sure I'm going to do a good job on this.
You're saying I'm the boss? What did you say?
So yeah, I'm just videoing this here. It must be supper time already. So once again, we just line up the pilot hole, put the quick grip on here. Make sure it doesn't move, make sure the handle's free. And put the second hole in. I'm getting nervous because somebody's watching me.
You're doing good.
Yeah. There we go. So we're lined up and good to go. Again, take it nice and slow. Don't force the blade. And look at that. I think I need to upgrade the old drill press. Anyways, there's our second and last hole. Double check. Look at that. Fits just like a diggity dog. So we've got it all cut. I got the bar inserted, bearings in there, just loose dry fitted. Haven't gone ahead and made anything permanent. But the nice thing about this is that these ramps are going to be supported by this pipe. So that bar is going to add an extra support to the old loading ramps when you're laying there in bed. So it'll make it even that much more solid. So it turned out a little bit better than I thought it would. And that top side is actually flush with the tubes. So the loading ramps and these side tubes are nice and flush. So it'll be a great platform for the bed. So now I just got to cut that pipe to size, put a couple screws in these in the bearings to hold them in place, and then just secure this pipe to that bearing as well. Okay, well, we've got the mock-up all done. So I've gone ahead and just put it inside of the trailer, and I just took some tie straps, hung them from the ceiling. This is just basically a temporary measure, and just gone all the way down and across to the other side just to see if this is actually gonna work. I've put just the corner brackets in, just put them in with a few screws for now before I make it too permanent. And I've also gone ahead and put those bearings in, and as well as this shaft. I've attached it to the tie strap here. I just put a couple brackets on. I'll just turn it around for you. Just something like this. Again, this is just temporary measures, just to ensure that it works before I do make it too permanent. Gone ahead and installed the vertical E-tracks. Made sure I allowed enough room for the thickness of the mattress on the ceiling. So I've given myself about a foot just for thickness of the mattress, and as well as all the bedding and anything else that you want to put on the bed. And also adjusted it forward enough that it clears your spool on the back if you have a ramp door on the back versus barn doors. Anyways, just stuff to take into consideration. Good idea to mock it up so that you don't have any surprises after. And you see I got some green tape on the floor, and that's just again just areas that are going to be blocked off to make sure that this thing actually is going to fit and that it's gonna work. So I still got this pipe. I got to cut this to size. I got to do a little bit of welding in here as well, and I got to do some just some bracing to support that E-track. So I'm going to do some horizontal bracing. Probably put about 3 brackets in the back in order to support that E-tracks as well. Going to give you a little bit of a demo of how this thing is going to work. Very, very rough setup. Again, like I said in my previous video, this is just want to make sure that it works. So essentially what it's going to do is it's going to wrap those tie straps around the pole. Got a little bit like vice grips here just to crank it up, and it works actually really, really well. Not too heavy. Obviously it's going to be a little bit more innovative with regards to the cranking system and make it nice and simple, but this works well. So with the E-tracks, basically just a matter of sliding these clips over, and that's it. Just one on this side, one on that side.